Hello everyone, I am Dr.M.Sumathi, PG and Research Department of Commerce, Assistant Professor, Sri Krishna Swami College for Women. So now I am going to discuss about the corporate accounting, underwriting of shares and debentures. So introduction, in case of public limited companies, minimum subscription must be received in order to get certificate of commencement of business. So minimum subscription, it refers to the minimum amount which a company should raise at the time of issuing of capital. So listen, so as per the Companies Act 2013, the minimum subscription of 90% of the offer to the public, which is received the company within the 120 days from the date of opening of the issue. If the company is not received the 120 days from the date of opening of the issues, that a minimum subscription of 90%, they should refund the entire amount which is received as a subscription. So which is it's a compulsory for the each and every company to receive the 90% of the offer to the public within a 120 days. The next one is underwriting. So underwriting is an agreement whereby the underwriters ensure the company that in case the shares and debentures offered to the public are not subscribed by the public to the extent. So the balance of the shares debentures will be taken by the underwriters. For example, if the company they issue the shares 1 lakh but they received 80,000 shares, so remaining 20,000 shares it's taken by the underwriters, that is balance of shares. 20,000 shares is taken by the underwriters. So the underwriters give the guarantee to the company that the shares or debentures are offered to the public will be subscribed in full. So the underwriters are working under the agreement which is made by the company and the underwriters. So the underwriters are also working as per the commission which is payable to the underwriters, that is 5% on the issue of shares, 2.5% on the issue of price of debentures. So underwriters, so these are the underwriters: individual, partnership firm, joint stock company, Industrial Credit and Investment Corporation of India, Industrial Development Bank of India, and Unit Trust of India. So these are the underwriters which is under agreement between the underwriters and the company. Next one is market applications. It's a very important concept in corporate accounting. That is market applications. It means so all those applications which is received by the company from the public in bearing the stamp or marking of a particular underwriters. In which means in case of any of the shares or debentures issued by the company, the stamp or marking the particular underwriter name. For example, A. If A issue the shares and debentures, A, it mentioned A or B or C. That is the stamp or the marked applications. The next. So unmarked applications, the application forms which are received by the company without any name of the underwriters are called the unmarked applications. So in marked applications, which is mentioned the name of the underwriters, it is marked applications. So which are received by the company without any name of the underwriter are called the unmarked applications. So in some cases it means public get the application form directly from the company and such forms do not bear the stamp or underwriters. Next. So types of underwriting: complete underwriting, partial underwriting, and form underwriting. So the journal entries in the books of the companies. So when shares are subscribed by the public, the journal entry is bank account debtor to share capital account. So when shares are taken by the underwriter, the journal entry is underwriter account debtor to share capital account. For underwriting commission payable, underwriting commission account debtor to underwriter's account, because the underwriter is not working under the free of cost. We will provide the commissions to the underwriters. For net amount receivable from the underwriters, bank account debtor to underwriter's account. So liability of the underwriters. So this is a statement which is used to calculate the net liability of the underwriters. So first we can start from the cross liability according to the agreed ratios less marked applications balance less unmarked application in the ratio of cross liability is equal to net liability. So complete underwriting, it means when the whole issue of shares or debenture of a company is underwritten. So it is called the complete underwriting. So whatever the shares or debentures issued by the company, which is wholly underwritten by the company, it is called the whole issue of shares or debentures of a company is underwritten. It is called the complete underwritings. So let me discuss the one problem in complete underwriting. So when the whole issue is underwritten by two or more underwriters, is an agreed ratios. So S Limited issued 75,000 equity shares. Whole of the issue was underwritten as follows. So we easily identify the problem. It means here it mentioned the whole of the issue of issue, which means whole issue was done. That it is called as the complete underwriting. So here underwritten as follows: A, underwriter A, B and C. So the A accredited ratio 50%, B accredited ratio 25% and C accredited ratio 25%. So applications for 60,000 shares were received in all. So out of which applications for 50,000 shares had a stamp of A, 7,500 shares, that is that of B, and 15,000 shares had the stamp of C. So if it mentioned in stamp, which means that is marked applications. And the remaining applications for 22,500 shares did not bear any stamp. So did not bear any stamp means it's called as the unmarked applications. So determine the liability of the underwriters. We can work out the sum as per the statement we discussed in previously. Okay. So listen. Here the statement which is net liability of the underwriters. So particulars. There are three underwriters. Underwriter A, B, C and total. So cross liability according to the ratio 5 is to 2.5 is to 2.5. That is the ratio is 50%, 25% and 25%. So it's divided according to the 5 is to 2.5 is to 2.5 ratio. That is 50%. We can divide it by 50% divided by 100. So we can get the 5 is to 2.5, 2.5. That is 50 divided by 100, 25 divided by 100, again 25 divided by 100. We can get 5 is to 2.5 is to 2.5. So the total number of shares was 75,000. So that 75,000 is divided according to their agreed ratios. That is 50%, 25% and 25%. That is the agreed ratios. So we can simplify it into 5 is to 2.5 is to 2.5. So 75,000 is divided according to the ratios. 37,500. That is 37,500. 75,000 into 5 divided by 10. And the underwriter of B, the ratio is divided into 2.5. The 2.5 is their agreed ratios. So 2.5 divided by 10. Again underwriter C also have a 2.5 ratios. So it's divided according to the ratios. 75,000 into 2.5 divided by 10. So let's mark applications. So marked applications which mentioned stamp of A, B, C. It's called as the marked applications, which is mentioned in the problem clearly. That is 15,000, 7,500, 15,000. So totally 37,500. It mentioned given directly in marked applications. So we need not to calculate the marked applications. Okay. So cross liability less market application, you can get the balance 22,500, 11,250, 3,750, total 37,500. So again the company, they have the unmarked applications. So unmarked application, which means the stamp duty, that is stamp is not mentioned the any particular underwriter. It's called the unmarked applications. We need to find out also unmarked applications if they are given in the problem. So the problem they given is total amount is 22,500. This 22,500 which is divided according to the ratios, that is 5 is to 2.5 is to 2.5. So the ratio is calculated according to the 50, 25%, 50%, 25%, 25%, A, B, C. So again simplify, 50 divided by 100, 25 divided by 100, and again 25 divided by 100. So 5 is to 2.5 is to 2.5, 5 divided by 10, 2.5 divided by 10, 2.5 divided by 10. So this 22,500 is divided according to the ratios which is given in the problem. And so 11, you can get the answer 11,250, 5,625, 1000 minus 1,875, 15,000. So here 3,750, underwriter C they have the 3,750, but unmarked applications they can get the 5,625. So maximum is they can get the surplus. So that surplus which is transferred to the remaining persons, remaining underwriters, that is underwriter of A and B. So that's 1,875 divided the 1,875 of surplus is transferred to A and B according to their ratios. So when the surplus are transferred, here the surplus is belongs to the underwriter C. So A and B, we divided their ratios 5 is to 2.5, because we can take only A and B because no C's, because C have the surplus. So C surplus amount is transferred to A and B, so we can take only A and B. So A, the ratio is 5 is to 2.5 only, because we need not to take the underwriter of C. So 5 is to 2.5, that's 1,875. It's divided according to the ratios, 1,875 into 5 divided by 7.5. Again that is A, they can get the 5. They can get the 5. So the total is 7.5. So 5 divided by 7.5. The next one is B, 625. How did you get 1,875 into 2.5 divided by 7.5? Their ratios. So according to their ratios, the surplus amount is transferred to the A and B. So finally we can get the net liability of the underwriters. So underwriter of C, they don't have any other net liability, because the underwriter of C have surplus amount, that is minus 1,875 here means surplus amount. That surplus amount is transferred to the A and B. So no liability of underwriters, because underwriter of C, they have the surplus amount which is transferred to the A and B. So no net liability of underwriter. But we have the net liability of A and B. That is the total amount of net liability 15,000. Okay. So the underwriting here, these underwriters are the company, they can take one underwriters or two or more underwriters. They can underwriting their shares or debentures according to their ratios which is given in the problem. Okay. So the agreements with contract, the agreement between the underwriters and the company for subscription of shares. So the company, they can get the minimum subscription, 90% of subscriptions within 120 days from the date of commencement of business. So if they are not getting, they can refund the full amount from subscription amount. So it's create a bad image among the public. So they can appoint the underwriters. The underwriters, they can act on behalf of the company. They can subscribe the shares and debentures. But whenever the underwriters are working, they are not working the free of cost. They should receive the commissions according to their ratios for 5% commissions and 2.5% commissions. Okay. So I hope you understand net liability. Thank you all.